Shouldn't we test it first?
I wish we could. There's no way to test it without...
Right.
As soon as the Institute figured...
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. I'll start scanning for... Just get on the platform. I'll do the rest. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. Yeah, don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Only opens with a key. Don't have the key. Broken. Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean, where is everyone?
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Yes, it's me, your dad. I'm here, Sean.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. I'm here
I
now.
don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Sean, please, calm down. I'll get you out of there.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
This is insane. All of it.
The degree of trauma you're experiencing right now is understandable. Situation is far more complicated than you... I am, Sean. I am. Your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now its leader. I hope you're not too overwhelmed.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being, walking talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
I don't believe you. There's no way any of this is true.
I wish there was something to say. I know this isn't what you wanted. But it's the only truth I can offer you.
You're my son? Then prove it. Now.
I've already told you how I came to be here. I don't know what further proof I can offer that would convince you. I've shown you my trust. Your weapons haven't been confiscated, and I stand unarmed before you. Please, let's just talk.
If this is true, where do we start?
I know you must have questions. Please, anything I can do to help you understand.
I don't want to hear any more right now.
Very well. The Institute is... And now...
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through... Forgive me. I'd assume that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would... There is much to be done. You'll need time to...
I'll do whatever it takes.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is... You'll want to introduce yourself, and finally...
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
He's definitely impressive.
Yes, it's pushed our technology to the limit. We've gained some valuable insights in terms of both hardware and software. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy? Are you following? I hope you're not too overwhelmed.
I don't need a synth. I found the real...
Yes, but not the Sean you were looking for. I wouldn't claim to.
Sean.
I couldn't be more proud of what we've achieved.
Busted.
Perhaps someday our synths can reclaim the Commonwealth. Hello, Father. I hope your time in the Institute has been enjoyable.
He's definitely impressive.
Yes, it's pushed our tech. I'll make sure it's brought, but I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
This is all... It's just...
I understand.
Sure.
I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but...
Got it. It's stuck. Sean.
Let your surroundings be a reminder of what science and willpower can accomplish.
Call this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
Welcome to the Institute, sir.
Hey,
Always be vigilant. We have many enemies.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your...
hey, Doc.
You know what happens when people get robots to do all their work? They get fat and lazy, that's what. Real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
I don't see any harm in robots helping out.
Robots helping out. You make it sound so tame, so harmless. If that's all it were, I'd agree. What's being planned here is much more than that. I'm talking about synths replacing human beings. You've just arrived, so perhaps it isn't apparent to you yet. But in time, you'll see what I mean. In any case, I suppose I should say, welcome. Perhaps a fresh
Operating at full capacity. Scanning unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Excuse me.
Your presence here is a great gift. Not just to Father, but to all of us.
It must make you proud to see all that Father has done. All that he has built.
Greetings, sir.
Why build it to look like you?
We've advanced the technology behind synths to a point where this struck me as an interesting variation. A new angle, if you will. Modeling it after myself seemed only natural, what with the Institute's records on my genetics and physiology. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent, do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
Seriously? You really believe a human could love a synth?
That's a difficult question. I suppose it depends on how closely we've managed to mimic human behavior and emotions. Yours is a unique position. You may be the only one that's truly able to answer these questions right now. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope.
Sean.
I often wonder what the Institute's founders would think of our accomplishments.
Call this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
Welcome to the Institute, sir. You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Is it true
You're
Food
here.
Supplement
Glad you made it.
77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
I want Supplement 77.
I am sorry,
Reporting
sir,
status.
that supplement is no
Functions
longer
normal.
available.
Useless machine.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial then.
Hi.
Will there be
Once
any
you've settled in, I'll want to do a physical and get a file going on you. I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't reach it.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Doctor.
They weren't
I
kidding.
don't know.
You really are
Most of
here.
them have lasted
Well,
long
all right.
past their projected
I'm Allie.
lifespans.
Allie
If you ask
Fillmore.
me,
You can
they
think
were
of me
built
as the
pretty well.
Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and... There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. If there's anything else you...
Uh-huh. It must be a challenge to meet them.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes. I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return
Dr.
to duty.
Fillmore.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi there. Something I can help you with?
Who built this place originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it. Thanks again.
Of course. Everyone's excited about the new synth project.
Allie,
Hi there. Something I can help you with?
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
smell like you've been above ground.
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Power demand jumped another 5% this year.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
You know I can't talk about that.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Safety first. Remember that.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Since you're new here, you should take time to learn
Wow.
our safety procedures.
That was productive.
And the SIP rules create order, and order promotes efficiency.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
Well, that's insulting.
I'm sorry. Not my intention. There's just quite a bit going on right now, and your arrival has the potential to throw things off schedule. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
I'd like a progress report on your division, if you don't mind.
Taking your new appointment in stride, I see. Very well. We've shifted resources off of other projects, like the Child Synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
Dr. Holdren's Synth Gorilla project is showing promising results. Father's a great man. You must be very proud.
Excuse me, I've got reports to deliver.
Try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. And those people are the last remnants of a
Dr.
dying
Watson
past.
doesn't think I'm Institute
Best
material.
not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering.
We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
It's great to have you here.
Please resist any urge you might feel to eat the specimens in the hydroponic garden.
Hi, Doc.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing. It's all right. No hurry.
I look forward to learning.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything more exciting than fake gorillas.
Speaking only for myself, I find them fascinating. Of course, I might be a little biased. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether...
Uh-huh. I'm not sure how well I'll fit in, but I'd like to give it a try.
Great. I was hoping you'd say that. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You mentioned medical care. I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
It's just remarkable.
Why can't a synth be a person too? I don't really see the difference.
Good day.
People on the surface have got it pretty bad. Makes me thankful for being down here.
Nothing to report, sir.
I am seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
Carry on,
They're
sir.
dragging their feet
Dr.
on the
Watson
targeting
can be
package
a little
upgrades I asked for.
obsessive when it comes
Maybe
to
I should take
rules
some
and
courses with me.
policies.
You know, send a message.
Hey, Doc.
So,
Please don't.
here
There's
you
enough
are.
friction as it
Just
is
an ale.
between us and pretty much all the other departments. The Directorate should take the synth escapes more seriously.
So, Here you are.
Justin Ao, acting director. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your I'm sure you understand.
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider.
The first outsider. It's nothing personal.
Now,
Right.
our primary...
I'm sure it's best for everyone if the synths remain here.
Certainly. We can't allow sophisticated Institute technology to fall into the wrong hands. The results could be disastrous. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. But I gather you know all this. In fact, I'd very much...
Uh-huh. I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a match. I suppose I'll have to ask...
Sure.
Now, unless you need something...
Uh-huh. I'd like to know...
Fine. Once a Courser has located a... we then begin the delicate process of restoring them. In those cases where all too often we're unable to...
Justin.
What do you want? And please, make...
Most people are good at breaking things. I enjoy putting them back together.
Here's that holotape you gave me. Full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
The Institute isn't our enemy, remember.
I know, but it never hurts to be prepared. All the good stuff on here is going to be encrypted. After that, well, I'll have to see what...